Episode 3414, What Habits Are You Encouraging for Your Child?
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. Guess what today is? It's Friday. That means you get to enjoy the weekend. And no, I know it's not a long weekend, but you had a short week. So why not kick off the incredible weekend with Confessions of an Upset Mama? What habits are you encouraging for your child? For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already haven't had the opportunity, you'll want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter, the Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, Inspiring Connection and Community. Well, definitely take a deep breath because did you know around the corner is another new month? I know, it's so crazy. We are about ready to hit the 6th month of 2024 and a lot is happening. I don't know if you're keeping score, but man, 2024 is just that. It's a whole lot more. And we've got to look at that. We've got to pay attention to our families, parents. Mom, dad, what are you doing? Because as parents, we can be too quick to assume that our actions have no lasting impact. However, what you teach your kids through words and actions leaves a lasting impression. What habits are you encouraging for your child? Dr. Kevin Leman said this, don't start habits that you don't want to have continued throughout your child's college and graduate years. Now, when I read that, it came from actually an old podcast episode with Focus on the Family. And Dr. Kevin Leman is a renowned, known expert in parenting. And he really does make some really good points. And so let me ask you this. How do you lead your children, regardless of age? What are you doing to teach them? Are you one who teases more than praises? Are you one who puts down rather than lifts up? Are you one who plays hardball more than lending an ear? Are you one who puts yourself first instead of your child's best interest? Or maybe are you one who thinks the worst before you expect the best? Parenting is not easy. I never said it was, and if you are a parent, no one would tell you in their brightest of minds that parenting is easy. Why do you think there's not a parenting Bible? Because number one, every child is different, and every parent is too. And so it's this journey. It's this track of saying, what is it? How do we make it work? We know that parenting isn't easy, and neither is living. But you have to step up to the plate if you're going to do both well. Now, maybe you're thinking that the goal here with children is to create a happy child. I mean, think about it. Having a smiling child all the time, that sounds fabulous, doesn't it? Well, Dr. Leman says this, if you're a young parent today and your goal is to create a happy child, we should all bow our heads and pray for you now because it's going to be disastrous. Okay, let's think about that for a minute. There are many times during your child's rearing years that they need to feel unhappy. Yes, you heard me right. They need to lose and they need to come in second. They need to fail at something they've worked hard for. They need to understand the consequences of their actions and their words, whether good or bad. And if that means feeling unhappy, let those bells ring loudly. Yes, because if all you are wanting to do is have happy children, honestly, you're barking up the wrong tree. Happy children do not mean great children, does not put your child at a better opportunity position. It doesn't make them better than your next door neighbors or even your siblings' children. Your child needs to fail. Your child needs to succeed. Your child needs to learn how to live in adversity when they face it. They need to know how to rebound from challenges. They need to know how to pick themselves back up. They need to know how to smile when they don't want to. They need to know how to be happy because they can be happy. But you see, what's happening is that we think we have to have happy children all the time. One thing parents try to do is to make their child do something, to make them, right? And a lot of people might think that, oh, the word really is more of control. Quite frankly, you cannot make your child do anything. You cannot control your child. If you're grocery shopping, I know you've got a memory like this. Go back to one of those days or years or months, whatever it is for you. And all of a sudden your child asks for something and you respond with that, no, put it back. You might feel the wrath of your child not getting their own way. Let the meltdown occur. Oh, it's happening. Whether it's in the grocery cart. Oh, you've seen that mom that's standing there and the child is wailing, no, mommy, you can give it to me. You got it. I want it now. And then you've got the one that's laying down on the floor, kicking and screaming and doing circles, and it's not breakdancing. Yeah. Then you've got the other one who's dragging you. Oh, no, wait. Really, it's more like the mom is dragging the child because they are kicking and screaming and turning different colors. Who knew that a child could change to the rainbow of the world? Instead of looking at raising kids from a control aspect, think of it as training. You are training up a child to become a productive adult, to impact the world that they touch. It's not about control because you don't have it. You may think you have it. Good luck there. Yes, you can make a child stop crying. An infant, let's be specific. Why? You put a bottle in their mouth and they're going to start sucking. Guess what? They only know 2 or 3 different things. I'm wet, so I'm going to cry. I'm hungry, I'm going to cry. I think I want you, I'm going to cry. Everything's I'm going to cry. So you only have 3 options. You didn't make your child be quiet. You did not control your child. Your child found a way to be okay with what was dealt, the cards that was dealt them. Doesn't matter if they are 2 days old, 2 months old, 2 years old, 20 years old, or 200 years old. Instead of looking at raising kids from a control aspect, what if you thought about it as training? All the more reason to encourage habits you want your child to continue through college and graduate years and beyond. What do you want them to take into their marriages? What do you want to have them take into their careers? Do you really want them to be a team player? Or do you want them to be an authoritarian? Think about that for a minute. Because we're not talking about this. And let me tell you, families are being destroyed because of the way we are raising our kids. And yes, mom and dad, that's your living legacy. And at some point, you have to think about your influence on your children and the impact that they receive because of your influence. And just because you're a working mom, a working dad, doesn't mean that you're less responsible. Don't sit here and blame the school system. Don't sit here and blame your day school provider. Don't sit here and blame the doctor because the doctor didn't tell you how to raise your kids. No, take ownership. You were given the gift of a child. Raise the child up. Train them up. Don't try to control them. They're not a robot. And you wonder why kids sometimes know more than adults. Because they pay attention. Wait, they're observant. All of a sudden, we find ourselves stuck in our phones and they're sitting there going, wow, if I can just get mom distracted enough, I get to get my own way. I'm going to try it. It worked this time. Now I'm going to do it again. They're brilliant. They're riding all over you. So don't you think it's about time to really think about how you are training up your child? Or are you really just trying to control them? What kind of lifestyle do you want for your child after they're no longer under your roof? Most of the time you're like, I'm just trying to get through diapers right now, Christiane. Yeah, I know. I remember those days. I had 5 kids under the age of 8. I was there. It was crazy. I was a homeschool mama. My husband was working on his career. By our choice, by the way, together, we agreed. So I was a single married mother. I could not rely on his schedule. I could rely on him, but not his schedule. And so everything that my kids needed came from me. Now, when dad was around, he was 1,000% in. But when he wasn't, I had to be 2,000% in because I was covering for both mom and dad. So how can we as parents encourage positive habits that will guide our children? Well, you got to train them up. That is your Kiss to Keep It Simple strategy. Train them up. It's not about control. It's not about making them do anything. Now, yes, at times you're going to have to use a discipline and you're going to have to say it's time for homework and you're going to have to be the mean one and take away their phone at the age of 2 years old. I know it sounds crazy, doesn't it? But that's kind of the world we live in right now because we're giving electronics to our kids way too early, but we'll leave that one for another episode. What's happening right now is that we are sitting here and our kids are outliving us because they watch our actions and they listen to our words. And when they are not consistent, what happens? They run right over us. That's why Mom, Dad, you're trampled on every single day. You got to train them up. What does that look like in real life? Number one, you got to lead by example. Children are like sponges absorbing everything around them. They just suck it up. And it's essential for us as parents to exemplify the values and behaviors that we want to instill in our children. Whether it's demonstrating kindness, be kind. Perseverance, come on, you got this. Determination, a strong work ethic. Not everything should be handed to you on a silver platter by the time you're 2 months old. Children learn best through observation, so lead by example. Dr. Leman emphasizes the importance of parenting model, stating, your kids are watching you and learning from you. Are you paying attention? Because let me tell you, they are your greatest reflection. If that's the only thing you get from this entire episode, your child is your greatest reflection. And at times, man, my children look awesome. And at other times, I'm like, holy cow, can I hide them in a closet? And that means I look awesome at times, and at other times, I need to hide myself in a closet. They are my greatest reflection, as they are yours. So you have got to ask yourself, am I leading by example? Am I doing what I want my children to repeat? And let me ask you this too. What if you're like, Christiane, I really didn't have a great childhood growing up? Then what living legacy do you want to pass on to them? How do you want them to raise their kids? What kind of family lifestyle do you really want? We're now into grandparenting. Let me tell you, it is so much fun. But I also tell you it's hard. Why? Because we don't have control of the parents. Did you hear me? The kids that I raised, I don't have control of them. And now they're parents. And I'm like, oh, life is so unfair. And so, yeah, I'm down on my knees a lot, praying for my grandkids, hoping and praying that they got the best of me and their father so they can pass on the best from me as their grandma and their papa. Lead by example. Don't sit here and make assumptions that you've got it all under control because most of the time we don't. And I want you to know this too. I know you're doing the best that you can, but you've got to be teachable too. So if you're one who's scratching your head as a mom and you're like, well, I think I'm doing really good. But if you have a question mark, or if you see something later on and you're like, oh, I don't like that reflection, like she's doing that, at what point do I show up like that? Or at what point does her dad or her stepdad or her stepmom, like seriously ask the questions, or her grandma or her auntie, whatever it is, and say, where is this showing up in her life? Maybe it's her friends. Maybe she needs to change her friends. Now it's hard to change parents, right? But you can change friends. Lead by example. Number 2, encourage a growth mindset. Teach your children the power of positivity and resilience through fostering a growth mindset, meaning what? Abundance. Don't you dare tell them they can't do anything. Unless if literally they can't. Let them dream big so they can live bigger. Encourage them to embrace challenges. Help them learn from failures and persist in the face of obstacles. By praising their efforts and progress rather than just results, you get to help cultivate this mindset. You get to train up their minds that sets your child up for success in all areas of their lives. But you've got to encourage a growth mindset. And encouraging a growth mindset in your child will empower them to conquer challenges and pursue their dreams with unwavering determination. It's too easy to quit. It's actually harder to keep going. So you've got to press and impress on their minds this particular positioning of a growth mindset, seeing things from abundance, seeing things from positivity. Yes, there's going to be some bad things that happen, but guess what? It happens, acknowledge it. Now find the silver lining. Find the platinum lining. Find the gold lining. Maybe it's only finding the tinted, tainted, whatever silver that's not real silver. But it's at least a lining. Because if you don't, they're going to find themselves dragging their hearts around every day. And you wonder why we have issues in this world. Yes, we have mental health issues. I'm not discounting that at all. Please hear and understand that. But we also have a lack of resilience in today's world because it's instant gratification. I should just be able to have it. Oh, I want to make 6 figures. I should be able to get it on my first job. No, not necessarily. You may have to work 3, 5, 10 years to get that. You've got to train them up to see the brighter side of life. To say, you know what? Yeah, maybe I've fallen, but I can get back up. And when I do get back up, I get back up stronger every single time. And then finally, number 3, establish consistent routines. Consistency is key when it comes to forming habits. We know this, right? Have you ever tried to diet? Have you ever tried to lose weight? Of course you have. Every person, and yes, and this is a really blanket statement, but every person has tried to lose weight at some point in their life. I don't care if it's 1 pound, 2 pounds, or 100 pounds. Everybody has tried to lose weight. And in order to create that habit, it comes with what? Consistency. Consistency is the key. And when you establish regular routines such as bedtime rituals, study schedules, and family meal times, you as the parent can create a sense of stability and security for your child. That's key. What does that mean? They feel safe. When they feel safe, they're going to come and talk to you about things. And when you have those established routines, it promotes discipline. It strengthens family bonds, and it provides a sense of belonging. They feel more loved because of the boundaries, because those boundaries are actually wrapped up in routines. Dr. Leman affirms the significance of routines. He says, routines give children the security of knowing what to expect and help them feel safe and grounded. My friend, the habits you encourage in your children today will shape the adults they become tomorrow. What are you doing for your kiddos? What habits are you encouraging for your child? Are you one who says,